Coming up on OC News, a new sexual harassment allegation gets a top anchor news for the Today Show fired. Stay tuned to find out who.
We also get a closer look at what it takes to be a Fullerton police officer. Plus, we have all your details on this weekend's exciting homecoming event. All that, plus more, coming up. Thank you for joining us at OC News. I'm Jason Gerline.
And I'm Maria Valdez. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
Recently, there has been several cases of sexual misconduct surfacing about individuals fairly well known to the public eye.
Taylor Martinez has details about the most recent offense.
This morning, the Today Show served up a shock and surprise. NBC fired one of its most popular personalities, Matt Lauer, after an allegation of inappropriate sexual behavior. The longtime Today Show host is just the latest in a string of journalists fired for inappropriate behavior. Mary Maloney has the story.
For the hosts of the Today Show, the news became deeply personal.
Matt Lauer has been terminated from NBC News.
Matt Lauer, a mainstay on the popular morning show for more than 2 decades, fired for inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace.
I've known Matt for 15 years and I've loved him as a friend and as a colleague.
How do you reconcile your love for someone with the revelation that they have behaved badly?
In a memo, NBC News says, in part, while it is the first complaint about his behavior in the over 20 years he's been at NBC News, we were also presented with reason to believe this may not have been an isolated incident. In a statement, the alleged victim's attorney says, our impression at this point is that NBC acted quickly and responsibly, as all companies should when confronted with credible allegations about sexual misconduct in the workplace.
I'm heartbroken for the brave colleague who came forward to tell her story and any other women who have their own stories to tell.
Lauer joins a growing list of high-profile men in the media to be fired or suspended for allegations of inappropriate behavior, including CBS's Charlie Rose, Mark Halperin of NBC, Michael Oreskes of NPR, and Garrison Keillor, the famous former host of A Prairie Home Companion.
This reckoning that so many organizations have been going through is important. It's long overdue. And it must result in workplaces where all women, all people feel safe and respected.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Reports claim that Lauer also gave out sex toys and an explicit note to a coworker, and that he had a hidden button under his desk that allowed him to lock his office door at his own convenience. Back to the anchors at the desk.
A hit-and-run incident earlier this morning leaves a woman dead in Huntington Beach. Police were called around 12:40 a.m. regarding a woman on Sea Point Street north of Palm Avenue. The victim's identity has yet to be released, and there has been no information about a potential subject. Police are currently conducting an investigation. If you have any information regarding the hit and run, please call police investigator Joshua Page at the phone number provided on your screen.
It looks like Cal State Fullerton found a possible temporary solution for the lack of parking on campus. We have reporter Naomi Asuna live from the Nutwood parking structure.
Due to the lack of parking here at Cal State Fullerton, Parking and Transportation Services are now offering discounted parking permits with extended shuttle services from First Evangelical Free Church of Fullerton. The discounted parking permits will be $70 on a first-come, first-service basis this Friday. For more information, contact Kristen Jackson at 657-278-3082. Reporting live from OC News, I'm Naomi Asuna. Back to you guys at the desk.
It's not easy to balance college and work, but add being a mom into the mix, and it's a real challenge. OC News reporter Naomi Asuna has the story.
Being a mom is not an easy task, especially adding school. How do you balance it?
It takes a lot of work. First of all, I have a great husband that supports me and takes care of a lot of the things that I can't do while I'm at school, and my kids are also very independent.
Family, all my support, having everyone just back me up, and whenever I needed help, someone's there to help me and just get me through it.
Challenges, there are many. There's a lot of time challenges. I have to manage my time as far as work, home, and school. I'm a full-time, I work full-time. I am a full-time mom, and I'm also a part-time student. I do I do face a lot of challenges when it comes to make sure that someone is taking care of dinner. If not, I do it myself before I come to school. I have to also manage time with my kids, make sure that I'm balancing time with them, spending time with them, spending time with my husband. Those are a lot of challenges that I face on a daily basis because there's a lot to do at home, and there's homework and there's deadlines I have to meet. So it's a lot of challenges, but because I have the support of my husband and I have the support of my kids, I'm able to do all that.
I love being a mom. I think it's like the greatest thing ever, and I wouldn't trade my life for anything.
Never fear asking for help, whether it's your partner, family, or even a friend. Reporting for OC News, I'm Naomi Osuna.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, I'll tell you all about a new study that suggests single people are more likely to develop dementia than married couples. Because it's getting chilly out there. I'll have more for you next with this week's weather update.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
The police detective TV shows make the job look action-packed and often sometimes glamorous. But that isn't always the real story. OC News reporter Kelsey Brink looked into what it takes to be a police officer, and she found out it's a lot more than just busting criminals.
Commitment. This is not an easy job. It's a really difficult job to get, and it's a really, really easy job to lose.
The Fullerton Police Department is home to the officers that take the time out of their days and miss events just to take care of their community. Being a police officer is more than sirens and flashing lights, but about commitment to their departments. Sergeant John Radis gave details about what it takes to be a police officer beyond what we see each day.
It's very difficult to get in that you have to pass a written exam, then you pass a really difficult physical agility exam, then you have to take an oral board, then you have to pass a background exam, then you have to take a polygraph, then you have to take a psych exam, then you take a medical, then you go to a chief's oral board.
I was able to discuss with Sergeant Radis that not only do police officers patrol and work hard to get their positions, but they also must be committed 24/7 because their jobs do not stop when we go to sleep.
The ability to make a positive impact in the community is what brings me to work every day. You're going to miss, without a doubt, you're going to miss birthdays, anniversaries, Christmases, holidays, Thanksgivings, important milestones. You're probably going to miss your kids' first steps. You're going to miss potentially your kids' first words. There's a lot of things that you're going to miss as a result of this job because our job doesn't sleep.
As you heard it here at the Fullerton Police Department, being a police officer is not just about drug busts and traffic tickets, but it's about helping the community around them. For OC News, I'm Kelsey Brink.
Do you have trouble sleeping? Well, you're not the only one. Let's turn to Monica DeAnda with the latest on insomnia and everything health.
Hello, and thank you for joining me for today's health segment. Let's get started. Alex Azar is in line to become the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services after being nominated by President Trump earlier this month. During his nomination hearing today before the Senate Health, Education, Labor and Pensions Committee, Azar focused on drug costs. Let's listen.
Drug prices are too high. The President has made this clear, so have I. Through my experience helping to implement Part D, and with my extensive knowledge of how insurance, manufacturers, pharmacy, and government programs work together, I believe I can bring the skills and experiences to the table that can help us address these issues while still encouraging discovery so Americans have access to high-quality care.
According to the World Health Organization, dementia is the 7th leading cause of death worldwide. Almost 10 million new cases are diagnosed every year. A new research paper published in the Journal of Neurology, Neurosurgery, and Psychiatry suggests that people who have been single for a majority of their life are 42% more likely to develop dementia than those who are married. And those who are widowed may have a 20% higher risk. However, the study does not suggest marriage itself reduces the risk of dementia, but it does imply that having a partner does help reduce cognitive decline. The Alzheimer's Association lists physical activity, reading, and maintaining a balanced diet as lifestyle habits that have been linked to reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Millions of Americans have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep every day. If you're one of those millions of people, CNN's Reed Binion has some tips for treating insomnia. Let's take a look.
Are you having trouble sleeping? If you are, you may be one of the estimated 50 to 70 million American adults who suffer from a sleep and wakefulness disorder. The most common is insomnia, where a person fails to initiate or maintain sleep. This may also take the form of waking up too soon, in which an individual wakes up several hours before they should and can't get back to sleep. The Center for Disease Control suggests 7 or more hours of sleep for adults between the ages of 18 and 60 years old. If you don't, it could affect your overall health. Here are some things you can do to improve your sleep health. Be consistent. Go to bed at the same time each day and get up at the same time too. Make sure your bedroom is cozy, quiet, and dark. Turn those smartphones, tablets, and TVs off. If you need a little white noise, try a fan. And avoid caffeine before bedtime. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
So remember, if you're having trouble sleeping, turn off anything that can be distracting and do your best to go to sleep at the same time every night. That will do it for Health Today. I'm Monica Deanda. Back to Jason and Maria at the desk.
The weather is feeling more like winter. Here's Ksenia with the weather.
Good evening, Titans, and thank you for joining me for this week's weather forecast update. Taking a look at today's weather, we'll go ahead and have the current weather of 74 and the low of 49. The winds will stay at about 5 miles per hour and we'll have humidity about 32% chance. The sun rose at about 6:30 this morning and will be setting about 4:45 this afternoon. Moving on to our weekly update, we have lows of 49 and it will stay 49 to 50 about the entire week. And then we go from 79 high on Friday all the way over to 73. So it will be cooling down. So get your jackets ready, Titans, because it's going to be getting pretty cold for California. And then moving over to California's weather, if you look up in Northern California, it stays at about the low 60s. We have 60 in Chico and 66 in San Francisco. Moving down north, it's in about the high 60s, low 70s. We have 68 in Los Angeles, and then we have about like 67 or 76 in San Bernardino. So it's going to be staying in the low, nothing higher than the 80s. Everything's going to be low, right around the 70s. And that'll be all for the weather this week. Thank you for joining me, Titans. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you. Okay, Marvel fans, what you have been waiting for is finally here. The Infinity War is among us, and we have the first look trailer that left every superhero fan with their jaws dropped.
This does put a smile on my face. Who the hell are you guys?
Hello, I'm Aaliyah Becerra, and thank you for joining me for your latest in entertainment news. It has only been a few weeks since DC brought together some of their biggest crime-fighting superheroes in the new Justice League film. Well, today, their competitor Marvel has struck back by releasing the official trailer for Avengers: Infinity War. The clip debuted on ABC's Good Morning America this morning and showcased favorites like Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr., Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, and Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth. Towards the end of the trailer, fans noticed that Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy come together with other Marvel legions and team up to fight the super team's biggest foe, Thanos. And speaking of superheroes, let's take a look at some other individuals that were equipped with wings this week. The highly anticipated Victoria's Secret fashion show aired last night, where 55 models from around the world graced the runway in intricate designs by the popular lingerie brand. The show has taken place in various cities throughout the world, once as close to home as Los Angeles, but this year, for the first time ever, it made its way to Shanghai, China. Fans were saddened to watch Alessandria Ambrosio take her last walk down the runway after 17 years, but the mood was lightened with lively musical performances by Harry Styles and Miguel. But even with these highlights, the biggest talk of the night seemed to be the stumble by the supermodel Ming Chi.
I still believe down, take it forward. Oh my goodness.
Can she get up? Is she okay?
Giselle's got her. She's up. Amazing. She's up. Brilliant.
Now, this fall may not seem new to some Victoria's Secret fans. Photos of the stumble surfaced to media after its original recording, but did come to some surprise that CBS did not edit the fall out during last night's airing. Now, on to music. One of the most exciting days in the world of music is approaching. The 60th annual Grammy nominees were officially announced yesterday morning, and it's looking like hip-hop and urban music artists are dominating the categories. Rapper Jay-Z leads the pack with 8 nods, including the critically acclaimed nomination of Album of the Year for his latest album, 444. Kendrick Lamar is up there with 7 nominations, including Record of the Year for his song Humble, and Bruno Mars falls right under with 6 nominations, including Song of the Year for his hit song, That's What I Like. While this may seem like an exciting time for hip-hop community, a big topic of conversation amongst music fans has been which artists were snubbed. Now, Ed Sheeran's album's Divide was one of the most popular albums of the year. His song Shape of You became the most streamed song of all time on Spotify. However, the singer only received 2 nominations, none of which were in the top categories. Similarly, Taylor Swift, who has been nominated for 31 Grammys and has taken home 10 wins, was only nominated for 2 this year. The star-studded event will take place on January 28th at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time on CBS. And that's the latest in entertainment news. Thank you so much for joining me. Now back to our anchors at the desk.
Fullerton's 10th annual homecoming is coming up this weekend, and we'll look at all the fun events you can be a part of.
And the donut chain that will be giving away free donuts this Friday, coming up next.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent? What? Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Today in sports, we take a look at the Raiders as they took on the Broncos in a rivalry matchup. An update on Blake Griffin's injury, and one Dodgers legend honors another today at the Rose Bowl. Melissa Vega has more with sports.
Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for joining me today on your latest on sports. Let's start off with the crazy weekend in the NFL. In Oakland, things got heated pretty quickly. Just 7 minutes into the game, Akeem Talib and Michael Crabtree exchanged shoves before they threw punches at each other. The incident caused a brawl, which resulted with 3 ejections. Take a look.
Crabtree right there, and then of course Talib, he retaliates, and then you've got after Crabtree. Helmet's being thrown. Talib grabbed it off. Referee is down, and look at holding on to his ribs. Well, that started with the block. That was Crabtree.
Talib and Crabtree were both facing a 2-game suspension. However, yesterday the league announced both their suspensions were reduced to 1 game. Despite the Raiders losing starter receiver Crabtree, the Raiders were able to defeat the Broncos 21-14. The winless 49ers lost their quarterback C.J. Beathard with just 1 minute remaining in the game with a lower body injury. The injury allowed Garoppolo to make his team debut with the 49ers. Garoppolo threw just 2 passes for 18 yards and connected with Lewis Murphy for a touchdown on the final play of the game. The 49ers announced yesterday that Garoppolo will make his starting debut as quarterback in his hometown against the Chicago Bears Sunday. Moving on to the NBA, the LA Clippers and Lakers Monday night matchup left all-star power forward Blake Griffin with an injury in the 4th quarter. The injury occurred after Austin Rivers fell into Griffin's knee while fighting for a loose ball. Griffin continued to play for a few moments but left the locker room shortly. The Clippers announced yesterday that Griffin suffered a MCL sprain. Griffin will be out for 2 months. Cavaliers star LeBron James was ejected for the first time in his 15-year career during Tuesday night's game. James was tossed with 1 minute and 59 seconds remaining in the third quarter after arguing with referee Kane Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald assessed James with a technical foul and ejected him from the game. The Cavs went on to defeat the Miami Heat 108-97. And earlier today, a statue of Jackie Robinson in his full UCLA football regalia was dedicated outside of the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. It is a gift from a family of Thomas Tull, who produced the 2013 film 42, that focused on Robinson's breaking the Major League Baseball color barrier in 1947. The legendary broadcaster Vin Scully celebrated his 90th birthday at the event by introducing Tull and members of the Robbins family in attendance, wishing Vin a very happy birthday today. And that's going to do it for sports today. Thank you for joining me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Melissa. Homecoming is this weekend, and we have our very own reporter, Marissa Aldi, live at Titan Gym with all the details on the exciting upcoming event.
The 60th anniversary is taking place here on the CSUF campus just a few days away. The main event begins on Saturday, December 2nd at 2 p.m., but there are several events taking place before for students and alumni to get involved and get in the spirit. Tomorrow, November 30th at 5 p.m., the Accounting Alumni Club is hosting a happy hour event at the Irvine campus. For Friday, December 1st, ASI is hosting an electric pep rally at 5 p.m. at the SRC basketball court, followed by other events put together through the College of the Arts. And finally, the big celebration begins Saturday at 2 p.m. for the Homecoming Pre-Game Festival, where there will be ice skating, games, and several food vendors to partake in before the big game. The men's basketball team will take on Cal Lutheran in the Titan Gym at 6 p.m. For more information on purchasing tickets, visit fullerton.edu/homecoming. There you have it. Be sure to check out all the fun festivities taking place and come out and support. Reporting for OC News, this is Marisa Olid.
If you're in the mood for a free sweet treat on Friday, Dunkin' Donuts is the place to be. They're giving away free donuts to any customer who purchases any beverage off the menu. This is part of their latest promotion offer called Free Donut Fridays. Make sure you get in line early so you do not miss this Dunkin' deal.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of OC News. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, OC News, at OC News CSF. I'm Maria Valdez.
I'm Jason Gerland. Make sure you head to campus this weekend for Cal State Fullerton's Homecoming pregame festivities, which start at 2 p.m., and then a game against Cal Lutheran at 6 p.m. We'll see you next time.
OC News is sponsored in part by Univision Communications, Southwest Airlines, and Casanova McCann.